PCS Nation family! Good evening and welcome to another night, Fat Friday night edition of PCS Nation Out the Window. Coming to you live from the PCS Nation studios, just outside of Blue, New York City. It's like we do every Friday night and every Monday night, because we love you guys, and we thank you for coming out. Got a lot to talk about tonight. We had some interesting things happen today. Some very cool stuff. Some interesting stuff. I might have been some April Fool-y kind of stuff. I'm not sure. I haven't quite processed it yet. But, Queen Linda.
Hello.
Hello. How are you tonight, my queen?
I'm excellent.
You are? Good.
Yeah.
How was punching in and out today?
Yeah. I've been waiting all day for tonight.
You have? No. How was your punch in and punch out? Did that go smoother
that
today?
punching out thing, it still takes 7 minutes.
That's silly.
Yeah.
All right. So what's
7
going on?
minutes each time.
You ready to rock tonight or what? We're gonna have fun tonight.
Yeah. So how was your supper?
The dog den.
Dog den.
I went to the dog
place
den.
looks
You remember?
really cute.
You remember we talked about that place a couple of years ago, right?
I think I remember that. I thought it was like a little cement. Is it
Yeah.
a little cement building?
It's actually an old stone building. Like it might be like 100 years old. It's on the property of Metro North. So I'm sure the guy's renting it from him. And it's just in an odd, weird place. But with something there, it's the kind of thing like where it'd have a draw once the name got out. He's been there like 3 years now. I went one time. And here's the thing about it. Like, I like a good hot dog. I enjoy it. And I'll have that like for a dinner once in a while. And I walk right past this place every single day. And I went when he first opened. And he's a nut. The guy's a psycho. He's first of all, he's 7'1". He's this just big, he looks like a big, giant freaking Oscar Mayer wiener. And he's a cool guy. He's like a real fun guy, but he's insane. Like the shit he does with hot dogs, his menu is just ridiculous. He's got like 100 different hot dogs on it. And you can get a hot dog, like all the regular standard stuff, all the weird stuff that you think is weird already. Then you can get one with Captain Crunch on it. You can get one with oatmeal. You can get one with peanut butter and jelly. It's just insane. He puts jelly beans on hot dogs. And like the guy sits there, from what I understand, like all day when he's not, like the store's not like pumping, like in between like lunch and dinner. And he just makes hot dogs and just puts whack shit on it and tries them. And then if he likes them, he puts them on the menu. So it's kind of cool. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
But the thing was, he was pricey, and it just wasn't that. He makes a big mistake. He uses a soubrette hot dog, and he actually kind of hypes it. Now, probably nobody's going to get this. This is like a serious, like, New York metropolitan area thing, soubrette hot dogs. Do you know what they are? Have you ever heard of them?
No.
Okay, so soubrette hot dog is the quintessential New York City street corner hot dog cart dirty water dog. That's like that dog. That's that hot dog.
Yeah.
And that's the only purpose there is for soubrette hot dogs to exist. There's no other reason. It's anything else besides heating them up in water, like cooking them on a grill or doing. It's like a crime against sodium-laden processed meat dogma to use a soubrette hot dog for anything other than to put it just in hot water. And you take it out of the hot water, you lay it in a bun, you put a smush of mustard on it, and then either red onion sauce or sauerkraut. That's it. That's like it for a soubrette hot dog. They don't have a lot of flavor. That's what that's for. So when this guy starts putting fucking lasagna on it, and pepperoni and Captain Crunch and Fruit Loops, the taste is just not. It's just having matter there. It's not even having like. You got to have the right hot dog for this. So I went the first time and I tried him out, and it was a new business. He was a cool guy. I'm like, try him out, see how it goes. And it's right there too. Like I said, I walked right past it. And it just wasn't that good. Like, it just wasn't that good. And it was like $18 or something like that. 2 hot dogs and fries. I'm like, if this was even just good, I'd do this once in a while. And it just wasn't. I hadn't gone back for like 2 years, but I just got hot dogs in my head today for some reason. Like, it just smacked me in the head and said, you got to have hot dogs tonight before you go home and do PCS Nation out the window. You just got to have hot dogs. So I went there. I was like, give the guy another chance. And you know what's nice about it, too? Like, I'm a big, like, professional writer now, so, like, I can afford to go out for hot dogs. So that's kind of cool, too.
That's right.
So I tried him, and he was better. It was just all right. It wasn't that great. I just spent 5 minutes to build up to tell you that it just wasn't all that good.
Yeah.
It was, and he wasn't as expensive this time. I don't know what that was all about. It did come down. It was like $13, 2 hot dogs, a big plate of fries. The fries were It filled me up. It didn't. It whatever. That's it.
Yeah.
Anticlimactic
Okay.
story. I'm so good for those. Like I give you all that build up, and then the ending sucks.
Oh, yeah. Mary Gunny says she likes Chicago-style hot dogs. I do, too.
I got nothing against those. Like, but that's a different thing. It's like the same argument about pizza. Pizza to me is New York pizza. It's flat, round, cheese sauce. That's like Chicago pizza. I totally get it, and I love it. I'll sit down and eat it anytime. But to me, that's not pizza. I get it that that's pizza to other people, but that's not. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Well, God, the Chicago dog. These Sabret hot dogs, that's a perfect example because I like Chicago dogs. Like that's cool, that combination and all that crap thrown on it. It's just a big messy mess.
Yeah.
The Sabret hot dog would get so lost in that you could put somebody's finger in there or a squid and you wouldn't be able to tell the difference because they just don't have the flavor for it. Like you got to have a little punch. Hebrew National, Nathan's, they got that little bite to them. They got that little bark, that little hot dog bark. He's like, "Rrr, rrr, 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 rrr." He's letting you know he's there.
Okay.
The Sabret hot dogs just kind of like that's him.
Yeah.
Did that sound like ridiculous, or did it kind of sound like dog noises?
It kind of sounded like dog noises.
All right,
yeah.
good. I got my point across. But anyway,
Okay, good.
we talk about fast food way too much on this show.
Yeah, we do.
It's always me,
We
though.
do. Yeah. So, what's new in Facebook land today?
Yeah, I was telling you about that before.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, it could be an April Fool's thing. Let's just put that out there as a theory right from the start. But for some reason, like I put up a post this morning, that early one. You actually posted it, right? Okay, 8 o'clock. And it just went crazy. It got more hits on that one post than we get in like 2 or 3 days for the last couple of months. Like just went bananas. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? And I just went and I looked at some numbers, which I just don't even do anymore. Like I'm like 80% ambivalent about what goes on Facebook anymore. Like a couple of things still irk me here and there. And I just don't look at the numbers because it just gives me a headache. And I went and I looked, and they have this thing called the page quality. It's a page that just tells you what your violations are, if you have them, which, we have like 9. And for the last couple of years, that's just been lit up red with warnings that we're on the verge of being shut down, and one more violation, and yada, 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 and it's going to be reduced, your distribution is going to be, and all that shit. And it's all in big, bold red letters and blah, blah, blah. And then it lists all your violations. And we actually were only down to a couple, but it was still lit up red. And the thing that went down in October with that Kyle Rittenhouse meme killed us. They put us on permanent suppression. They cut our reach by 99%. Like we were doing like between 1.2 and 1.4 million screens a day in October. And that right after that, now we're down to doing about 10,000 a day. Like they literally cut us by 99%. I'm not going to go into the whole thing about that. That's not what this is about. Anyway, I'm like, this thing's running wild. This thing's like going like it used to. What the fuck? So I went and I looked at the page quality page, and all the red stuff's gone. We don't have like permanent. You're going to be pushed down on the list and on the news feeds, and we're not going to let anybody see you. That's all gone. And all the violations are gone. And the Kyle Rittenhouse violation was gone. And I'd point out also that all the violations are Linda's. None of them are mine. Every one of them is hers. But,
I noticed that too.
But I don't know. Like, I don't know if this is a trap and they're just waiting for me to jump up because, like, I started going on my personal profile and going on other websites and shit posting and scrapping a little bit. And maybe, I don't know. It's just funny how things kind of collide into each other. But it was just weird that this popped up, particularly on April Fool's Day.
Yeah.
But maybe it's a good thing. Maybe, maybe it's Facebook kind of just getting ahead of the game and backing off before things start going bad for them, because like there's a lot of scrutiny on them right now, and it's ramping up, and it's going to get way, way more come November when America takes the House back and takes the Senate back from Democrats. So maybe they're making a play. Maybe they're just making a quiet little play, a little PR thing to just kind of smooth things out and make people less irritated with them. Probably not that. That's probably the other extreme. Like April Fool's prank is probably way higher on the list of probability. then
Yeah.
Mark Zuckerberg is seeing the light. I just called him Mark Zuckerberg. That should be his name.
Yeah.
He looks like a little fucking scrawny little pasty-faced bird. I'm sorry. See,
He does.
and I was going to say, too, like, I'm not going to poke the bear and bother him because, like, okay, you know what? If this is like an olive branch, then cool. Like, fine.
Yeah.
I'll be nice. I won't be a dick about it. But, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to call you a pasty-faced little, what a troll goblin. Whatever. I didn't call you a troll or a goblin, but I just did now, so I take that back, too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like, I don't know. Maybe we're free. It looks all right. I'm going to check it again tomorrow. Maybe they're just fucking with me, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, they're like loosening up the chains.
I'm not coming back, though. I'm still not coming back. Because the thing is, okay, this has been what now? October, November, December, January, February, March. 5 months since the Rittenhouse thing where we got smashed, right?
Yeah, yep.
And we haven't really had anything. We haven't had any violations up until, 2 days ago, which was a stupid one. We haven't had any violations. So maybe we got to a happy medium where I'm behaving enough, or I'm posting the stuff through another site onto Facebook, so it kind of puts a filter between it. And we found a little happy medium where I can live and not get violations, and they can just pretend I'm not here, which would be ideal.
Yeah.
And then, you know what? Who knows? Maybe nice things can happen. But
yeah. And maybe we can all just get along.
Substack all day. I don't have to explain shit, and I don't have to behave. I can tell everybody to go fuck themselves, and I can post memes about Hillary Clinton going, you know that thing. I can't say it. I'm on Facebook. I almost forgot.
Yep.
But Substack, $6 a month. We'll talk about that later.
Yep.
So that was cool on Facebook today. We'll see what happens. I don't know.
Yeah.
What else?
So, I don't know. You want to talk about Disney? Are they irritating you yet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got Disney and we got Petroleum Reserve Joe.
Yeah.
We want to do first. We got other
up to
things
you.
too. We got other things too.
Yeah, we got a lot. We got a lot today.
We got a lot. There's a lot going on. We might do
Yeah.
35 minutes.
Well, I'll tell you one thing about Disney.
Okay.
That,
Good. Do it. Let's go. Disney it is.
So, to me, they're like any of these other big corporations or celebrities or whomever. It's like, could you please just do the thing that you're good at and leave the rest of it out of it?
Yeah.
Because to me, Disney is so good at entertaining us. You know, and I know people are going to be mad about this, but I spent $5.99 to rent Encanto over the weekend when the grandkids were here, and we watched Encanto. And it's so good. You know, it's just fabulous. And even in the middle of it, my husband turned to me and he said, "Wow, this is as good as a Broadway musical." And then when the show was over and the credits came up, I could see why it was so good. It's because Lin-Manuel Miranda is all involved in the making of this Encanto movie. And he's the one that wrote, produced, and starred in Hamilton, which then that brought up all my old feelings about what they did to Mike Pence when he was in the audience watching Hamilton. And that just turned me right off for the same reasons. It's like, do what you're good at and leave the rest out of it. You know, and, and then one more little thing that my mind goes to is that the road company of Hamilton, you know, the ones that toured all over the country doing the plays, when they were in Milwaukee, one of the lead actors got arrested, like opening night it was, I think. He got arrested because he had been involved in the January 6th trespassing and disorderly conduct incident.
Really?
So it's like, So it's like, color me shocked that an actor was involved in a fake insurrection. But anyway, I mean, this whole Disney thing, for me, it just keeps going and going and going, and everything seems to be connected to it, you know?
It's weird in a lot of ways, and it's awful. I mean, it's the problem, like, the problem about it is, we talked about it, like, early on the morning show, when we did the Quick One Morning Show, when we started talking about this stuff, that it's an addiction for people. Like, getting that $5.99 rental, it's not going to make a difference to anybody whether you do or not. Like, it's not even a drop in the bucket.
Right.
And the billions and billions of dollars that passes through the Disney machine. But the thing is, like you start getting, there's people that go to Disney like for every long weekend they get. Like my boss does that. My boss is a huge Disney fan for years. That's the people that are going to make the difference. Like, are those people going to go? Are those people going to keep supporting it? That's where like the bigger money's going to be. He's also got stock in. I don't want to get into his personal stuff, but he's not happy about that aspect of it either. But it comes back again to what you said, and we've talked about this sort of thing before. About, do you separate art or entertainment from the politics? Because if you put it together, you're just doing the same thing they're doing, maybe not as offensively or as openly. But you're kind of doing the same thing if you associate them. Like, you can separate that too. And I compared it to that, like, and I'm just throwing this out there. I'm not looking to start even a new conversation. But if you found out that Michelangelo was was pro-choice, pro-life. What am I? I'm getting it backwards now because I'm thinking 100 different things. If you found out that artist that painted the Sistine Chapel was pro-choice, was a pro-abortion, or whatever you want to call it, would the Sistine Chapel lose impact as a work of art? Would you not appreciate the work? And I'm not comparing like Encanto to that. I'm not comparing like my Stephen King books that I still read, and he's a miserable prick now too.
Yeah.
But I think it's okay to separate. Like something like that, and say, yes, I'm going to enjoy this. It's my kids. I'm going to keep them pure and keep them away from it. They don't know anything about this, and this is for them. And them being happy is what I'm looking for. That's my happy.
Yes.
That you can't criticize yourself for doing that. If you were. I don't even know if you were. You just feeling funny about it?
You know, I mean, it pops into your head. You know, I mean, I've always said I'm not the type of person that boycotts stuff. If if I like something, I'm going to do it. If I'm not just going to stop buying something or doing something because I'm against, whatever position they have. But it pops into your head, I'm like, oh, I'm watching Disney. Yeah. Well,
what do you think about, like, what would it take? Like, I'm not saying it from the perspective, I've never been there, and I just keep bringing this up, and I hope I don't get everything all botched up again, but like something like a work of art like the statue of David.
Yeah.
How bad would the artist have to be? Like, what grievous thing would that person have to have done to make you not appreciate how beautiful that work is?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Disney's getting there, and I'm not defending them. Like, don't get me wrong about that. Like, they're the whole thing is creepy as fuck.
Yeah.
Going back to, like, the whole self-governance thing, where they actually were allowed to be, like, their own little town and govern themselves. And I don't know anything about that, really, and I should have done a little research on it today because I've been thinking about it since this morning. But how that came to be just seems like that was just, like, a dirty backroom deal. And no offense to Walt Disney, he created the happiest place on earth. But he just seems like the kind of guy that might have done a deal like that. Like, listen, hey, we're going to bring a lot of money into the state. Cut us a little slack here, and we'll take care of this, and you don't bother us about that, and maybe we can push this paperwork out of the way. And all of a sudden, you got a little town there, which is fine in the 50s or whatever the time frame on it. Don't make me. I can't even remember what date it is. Don't ask me about when Disney was around.
Yeah.
So it's just weird from that aspect. Maybe that was okay then. It was a different world then. It was a different America then. People were better. People were better then. We suck now compared to how we were. And I'm not saying everything. Obviously, there are a lot of things that are better. But just people in general, you lived a better life and it was nicer.
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe that was okay for then. But that's not okay for now. Because now you have a whatever 100 square mile, I don't even know how big it is, chunk of California smack dab in the middle of Florida. And the way society is now, that's oil and water. That's going to be a problem. And it's showing. You're seeing these ideals with this whole, I can't remember the name of the law, and I'm not going to call it what they're calling it. The parental, what's the name of it? Do you remember, Linda?
No.
Somebody will type it in.
I know the nickname that everybody's calling it, the don't say.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. I'm reforming. Listen, I just posted just before we did the show. I don't know if you saw it.
Yeah.
Remember what we were talking about, because I'm going to make myself forget. I posted, I'm not calling Joe Biden anymore. He's the big guy now. From now on, if I write a YPG letter, it's going to be Dear Big Guy or Dear President Big Guy. if I tweet at him, I'm going to call him the big. I'm just not calling him Joe Biden anymore. That's my little stance. And everybody in the whole fucking country should do that. And every reporter, I swear to God, I'll rob a bank to come up with $10,000 to give the first reporter in the press room that calls a president big guy in a press conference. I swear, I'll rob a bank and get 10 grand to give that to Peter Ducey if he calls Biden the big guy.
Yeah.
So I think that's the movement we should make. I think we should all just keep calling him the big guy until this laptop thing gets addressed. Mary Gunny asked about the laptop a little earlier in the show, and I didn't get to it back then, but I'm shouting you out now, Mary Gunny from Grand Rapids, Michigan. We're all over the laptop. That's what we should do, though. He's the big guy, and you just keep calling him the big guy until he fucking cries.
Yep.
Until they sell out the laptop thing. Now, where were we?
We were talking about Disney, and they said, they're not going to refer to boys or girls or men or women or anything in Disneyland within the park. So, in other words, the bathrooms. How are the bathrooms going to be labeled? Does anybody know?
I got a better one than that. It's not a contest, but and I just keep because again I was talking with my boss, and he's a big Disney guy. And I said to him, first of all, before we even start, just I don't know the number, but you take a guess out loud, and anybody wants to type in a guess in the comments, go for it, as to how many Disney movies you think there are, okay? I'm going to say, let's say there's 100 Disney movies. Do you think that's pretty reasonable?
Yeah, I would say probably even more than 100.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anybody else, if anybody knows, let us know. Okay. In 100 Disney movies, how many times was the word boy, girl, man, woman, he, she, him, her used in 100 Disney movies in the past 80 whatever fucking years? Anybody? No, I'm only kidding. You're not going to do that, obviously, in your head. But the point is, are you going to go back now through the whole Disney catalog and take out he's and hers, and she's and hims, and girls and boys? Because you're hypocrites if you don't. First of all, you're wrong if you want to do that. But you're hypocrites if you don't, because if you're doing that in your park, then go back and fix your fucking movies.
Yeah.
And I don't see that happening. Like, just little, I don't know, maybe yours was better, but I don't know, it seemed like a big thing to me.
Hey,
like they're going to go back and edit the movies.
I quick Googled it. All Disney movies from 1937 to present, which was 9 months ago, I think. That's how present it was. So till 2021, 119 feature films. 119.
All right. So
and
just
there's six of them currently in production.
Yikes.
Yeah.
We got the whole Star Wars franchise and everything. But think about that, though. Every movie that Disney owns the rights to right now, and multiply that by how many times a gender-specific male or female reference was used in those movies. And then it's just, when you're done editing that 500,000 words, come back and talk to me about your bullshit in the park. We're not going to talk boys and girls. It's fucking Disneyland. You take the kids there to go on a ride. They don't need to know this stuff.
Right.
There's plenty of time for that. I didn't start learning about this shit for real until a couple of years ago, and I'm 56. They can learn when they get older. You don't need to hit these kids in the face with it on the fucking teacup ride.
Right.
And the arrogance of this company. And I said that the other day too, or maybe it was today, how we've watched 2 years of big tech, of Twitter, of YouTube, of Facebook, of all these places quietly suppressing the vote and quietly altering an election and quietly suppressing your speech. Now, here's another top 10 world corporation. What I say this morning, like Walmart, Apple, the Vatican, Disney.
Yep.
That's your okay. But they're doing it open now. They're not even hiding behind the scenes and doing it like they're flying pallets of laundered cash into Iran in the middle of the night. They're doing it right in your face and saying, we're going to fight this. We're going to get into a political battle, and we're going to stop this. You do mice and rides. You do shows and you do movies. What are you talking about? You're going to stop this. I'm going to stop it. How's that? The Screwslinger's going to stop it. I got just as much right as you do. I just don't have the money you do, the capital that you do. But you're wrong on this. Disney's this is so far off base.
Yeah.
And just what it's about on top of all that, too. Just if it was about anything, the arrogance coming out of them, saying that they're going to get involved in something like this. If it was about the oil drilling, and they're going to get involved politically, openly like that, and announce it to the world. You're wrong, and we're going to stop you. Who are you?
Yeah.
That little rat. Fuck him.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's what I think.
Yeah. No.
The happiest place on earth.
Point. Excellent
you think so?
Point. Yep.
Yep. It's so complex. Like I'm struggling to even think of what to talk about it.
I know. I mean, like you said, they make movies. They make animated movies.
Don't be in politics.
And they have rides.
Right.
And they sell cotton candy.
Stay in your lane.
I mean, what gives you, what makes them think that they can lecture everybody about stuff like this?
I'm such a hypocrite, too, because that's like all I do all fucking day when you think about it. But it's just different somehow. Maybe because I'm right and they're wrong. Maybe that's what it is. I'm an arrogant prick, too.
Yeah, it's different.
We're laughing. We shouldn't be laughing.
It's different because you aren't expecting everybody to like fall down and agree with you.
I tell you not to listen to me.
Yeah, exactly.
All the time.
Yep.
Mary Laura said, I guess Disney still holds the trademark for Mickey Mouse way past the time that it should be public domain. That needs to be corrected. I never even thought of that.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a part of their whole governance backroom Nazi deal that they did with the government back in whatever.
Yeah.
That they get to keep the mouse forever.
Yeah.
Who could afford it? What's the price on Mickey Mouse? Like what?
I wonder.
You couldn't even put a number on that. That would be like $1 bajillion, like our imaginary excessive number. It would be $1 bajillion to buy Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
That's how much Mickey Mouse would probably cost.
Yeah.
And Susan Fear Thompson, and they own ABC. I'm telling you, if it wasn't for the Vatican, this would be the biggest corporation. Maybe not. Maybe Walmart too. But I want to talk about Petroleum Joe real quick. We only got a couple minutes left.
Yep.
Because I did some fucked up math, and it's shit that nobody's talking about, which usually annoys me. Because when it's things I think that should be getting talked about and they're not, it irritates me. And again, who am I? But I have my thoughts, and I say them. I have a half-hour, hot 30-minute show with my queen, and I can say this shit. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the fucked up math, all right? We're going to do, Petroleum Joe's going to do 1 million barrels of oil out of our strategic petroleum reserves for the next 6 months, which is going to do nothing. And that's what all the experts are saying. You don't even have to count on the screw slinger to tell you that. All you got to do is just let your fingers do the walking and Google it. The experts are saying this isn't going to do a thing. And if it does anything at all, it's going to take months before you see it anyway. So for 6 months, 180 days, he's going to put 1 million barrels a day from the strategic oil reserves into society, into the population. Okay. We have 600 million barrels of oil in the U.S. strategic reserve right now. Is that a number that you knew, Linda?
No. Nope.
Okay. And if anybody out there knew that, say so, because I didn't know that number. I thought it was a hell of a lot more than that. Okay? And this fucking folly that this guy's doing to cover his ass politically, to make good press, and to make people forget their pains leading up into the midterm elections is going to burn 30% of the United States strategic petroleum reserves.
Ooh.
30% of all the oil we have tucked away for a rainy day is going into Joe Biden's campaign, is going into the Democrat midterm campaign. That's fucking completely unacceptable. That's completely unacceptable. And that needs to get stopped. And nobody's talking about it. Does that, I mean, is that not a little stunning?
Yeah.
Because it knocked me on my ass. I literally saw that like 10 minutes before we started setting up for the show. 180 million gallons of oil is going to get yanked out of our reserves for this fucking joke. For this scheme, this Democrat campaign scheme, which is all it is. That's 30% of the oil we have tucked away for reasons that this has nothing to do with. And you wanted to, I was kidding around earlier when I was saying, you know what, maybe this is a strategy, part of the strategy. You empty out the U.S. petroleum reserves, so that's one more reason for you to start embracing green new alternatives. Because we don't have any backup oil now, because this fucking idiot used it on his campaign.
Yep. Just watch. When the 6 months is over or whatever, then they're going to start crying about, our reserves are so low. Yeah, you're right. They're going to start
But then,
pushing
you know what? They might not. Because no, they're not even talking about it. Nobody's even addressing that now.
Yeah,
and maybe
but
somebody
they
will notice it. Maybe, whatever. I notice shit. I noticed this. Maybe somebody will notice it and start talking about it. But right now, nobody's even talking about it. Nobody's even mentioned those numbers anywhere that I heard.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous in practice, and it's ridiculous that it's not being talked about.
Yeah.
We think of Jen Psaki.
Right.
Jen Psaki's going to MSNBC. What? Did you have more on that? I'm sorry.
No, but I think you're right about that. That they're purposely making the reserve go down so that then, like you said, they can push the Green New Deal thing.
Swirling it all together, and we were talking about this a couple of weeks ago, if you remember about it. We're in a time where people can't afford anything. You can't afford gas. You can't afford food. You can't afford this. And yet I'm looking around my city, and if it was light enough and I moved the camera around, you would see 6 construction projects that are putting up high-rise residence buildings.
Huh.
So that's thousands and thousands of people they're anticipating moving here. And that's because it's walking distance to a train station that takes you into Manhattan. So you don't need to drive when you can't fucking drive anymore, when there's no more oil. It all swirls together. They're getting you cooped up in the buildings, and they're going to put happy bread and circuses entertainment in your hands, so you don't have to leave the house. You got Amazon to click a couple of buttons, and you can buy everything from condoms to chili cheese sauce with a push of a button and have it delivered to your door. And that's where we're going. I try so hard not to let it end up here every time. But it always comes back to this shit. There's something afoot here.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I'm done.
Okay. You got that all out of your system.
I did. Yeah. Happy me up now. You make me happy now like you do.
Okay. Well,
Tell me, Joe.
You know that Will Smith is resigning from the Academy.
Oh, you said that. You said those 2 words.
Yeah.
I went all day without saying those 2 words, I think.
Oh, okay. Well,
so
he's resigning before they can kick him out, basically, is what he's doing.
Really? Are they making him give his, like red carpet Oscar swag bag back?
I don't know about that yet.
Or like the pair of, like Yeezy shoes and some kind of perfumes and whatever they give.
Yeah.
These rich Hollywood celebrity carbon-based stage props.
Yep.
Well, good. Fuck the Fresh Prince. I hope I hope they take his Oscar away and everything else. Yeah. He should have been locked up, man. Can any one of you out there say, I'm the one who I could have gone up on the stage at the Oscars, punched Chris Rock in the face, and not gotten dragged out of that building? Anybody?
Nope.
Not one person.
Nope.
Not one person. I'd have been booked, arraigned, fingerprinted, and I've been out on bail waiting trial already before they could even figure out to kick him out of the Academy.
Yeah, I think Whoopi the Hutt. She's the one.
You're supposed to be making me happier at this point in this show.
She said that they decided to not ask him to leave, or kind of make him leave the ceremony, because they were afraid he'd make a scene.
Okay, so then you taser him.
He already punched Chris Rock. How much more of a scene?
That's an excellent point. You've already made a scene. Like, are you going to top that now?
Yeah.
Because they do have tasers and they have pepper spray. So if you're being arrested, I don't think it matters that you used to be the Fresh Prince or that you're now Will Smith, married to that disaster. Just taser his ass, and then the scene is over. Well, no, that'd actually be an even better scene when you think about it. But they could have cut the cameras and done all that stuff. It's just preposterous. We're kidding around about it. And I just didn't even want to talk about it anymore. Let's just make each other a promise that we're not going to talk about Will Smith anymore.
Okay.
All right. We're going to have to probably. If something stupid comes up, we'll do it. But let's plan on not. But, yeah, that would have been it would have been kind of cool to see the Fresh Prince get tasered on YouTube the next day.
Yeah.
That would have been fun. The memes would have been better. And I would have been willing to talk about it for a longer period of time.
Yeah.
This wasn't worthy. This was a little bitch slap. He hit like a girl. And no offense to girls. I mean, I could probably say that now because you'd need a biologist to, levy any charges at me for saying girl. Because you can't, you don't know. And it's just words. You don't even know if I'm talking, if it's a girl, if it's a boy. You didn't get in my head. And I just said boy now, too. So I just complicated matters worse.
Oh, my gosh.
But, yeah, I would have been locked up. That's pretty much the bottom line on that.
Yeah.
All right, we're getting out of here. We're talking.
Okay.
We talked a lot. I talked a lot tonight. You did, too. You talked.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the day today. I enjoyed the numbers. It was nice to have that back. It was kind of nostalgic. It made me happy.
Yeah.
And the other thing, too, was that idiot I had fun with who was calling me a a left-winger. Yeah. Oh, boy, did you go wrong today. That was fun, too. All right, we're out. PCS Nation on Substack. Get on the full website. Full access to everything. All the videos. Everything we do there. The morning show 7 days a week. Relentlessly from various locations throughout my city. All for $6 a month. That's 21 cents a day. It's $60 for a full year. You save $2 off the monthly cost. Just get over there. We'll put a link up for you. It's all self-explanatory. If you need help, ask somebody. Give us a shot for a month. At the end of the month, if you don't like it, there's nothing that's going to make you come back if you don't want to. Keep with the free stuff, and we'll all still be friends. PCSNation.substack.com. Linda will put it in the comments for me. Follow us on Twitter at PCS Nation Bitches, BITCHZ, and I'm not apologizing for it anymore. It is what it is. Keep following us on Facebook. And guys, tell your friends, like, if they were here and they're not here anymore, let them know. Like, maybe they can see us again now. Something shifted today. There was a whole shift in the whole time-space continuum and algorithm and all that stuff. Something happened. And I don't know if it's going to be the same tomorrow. Maybe it'll go right back, and it was the April Fool's joke. But let's jump on it while we can and check and make sure you're still following. We haven't said that in a while either. Check your settings and make sure you're still set for like and follow, or else you're never going to see us again once you pass us by the first time. And also, a lot of new people are coming in and just passing through randomly. Hit like, man. Hit follow, because you're never going to find us again. I don't know how you found us the first time the way things are. Maybe it's different now. Maybe it's opening up a little. I'm going to take advantage of that while we're getting a flow of people through here. Click like and click follow. You're never going to find us again. And we'll take it a day at a time, and we'll see how it goes, and hopefully that works out a little bit too. Fair enough?
Fair enough.
Linda, you got anything else?
No, I do not.
Thank you all for coming out tonight for another edition of PCS Nation. We'll go again Monday. Facebook, folks. Linda, am I doing Facebook this weekend?
Nope, I am.
I love you.
Yeah.
You're the best.
You're gonna let
I don't
me
care
run
about
wild.
any of those emails or texts that people send me about you. I don't care about that. You're the best.
Okay. Yeah, no matter what
I'm
anybody
absolutely
else says.
just kidding. Absolutely. Linda
Yeah.
is the best. So yeah, Facebook fam, I will see you on Monday. Taking the weekend off like I've been doing. Substack folks, we will be around and we'll play around and we'll see what the weekend brings. And we'll see you all Monday night at 7:30 back here for another hot 30 minutes of PCS Nation out the window. Thanks, guys. Thanks for your support on all the platforms. I love you guys. Everybody have a great weekend. And I am out.